Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back, welcome to our fortnightly news video. We're going to look at everything that's happened in the English Pokemon TCG over the last 2 weeks. Now, I'm sure you can already see what the big announcement is going to be, but before that we'll get into a few more minor things, and then we'll jump into the big one, so let's get started. First off, actually a couple of quick corrections on the video from last time. First, that Dragapult EX League Battle Deck. Now, when I was talking about that, I mentioned the exclusive cards being that new version of the Fezandipity EX without the stars, and also the non-holo Xatu. Well, after I published it, it was pointed out to me that the non-holo Xatu had actually already appeared as a non-holo in the Paradox Rift build and battle kits. So the only thing that is actually brand new and exclusive to that League Battle Deck is that Fezandipity without the star pattern, only the single foil instead of the double foil. So the Xatu is a variant, but it's not a new variant. Next up, the Regionals promo we spoke about last time. I mentioned that we'd seen non-English copies of Iris's Fighting Spirit, and was expecting the English version to make its debut in Milwaukee the following weekend. Well, a couple of things. First, someone pointed out to me the English version had already made its debut. It was the promo at the Stockholm Regionals in Sweden at the end of March, but I hadn't heard about that one, and I guess because it was European only at that point, very few copies had made it over to the States. And then Milwaukee happened, and it was a very, very strange decision for the promo. So the promo was Briar, which is the promo which was associated with Stellar Crown, but this wasn't just a case of them getting rid of old stock of promos, because this was actually a new version of the card. So originally when Briar was released, it had the orange Regionals logo, which was what Pokemon used for a while to denote Regionals on cards up until earlier this year. This new version of Briar had the new and updated logo, the more red logo, which the Iris's Fighting Spirit does already have. So this was a full new reprint of this Briar. I guess I should say a full new printing, really, not really a reprint, because it did feature that new logo. For the rest of the tournament season, I do believe there are only 2 more regionals coming in territories which would get English language cards. So this coming weekend, May 17th to 18th, we have a regionals in Melbourne in Australia, and then the weekend after, the 23rd to 25th, there is one in Portland, Oregon. So it's actually going to be pretty interesting to see which promo these get. Are they going to get the Briar? Will they get the Irises? Or will it actually be a card from Destined Rivals? I'm hoping at least one of them gets the Irises, because at the moment I'm trying to get hold of the Irises promos from Europe, and the player ones are out there, but the staff ones are pretty hard to find. So hopefully at least one of these two adds some more staff copies to the market. But I will say either way, if you have some staff copies of these Iris's Fighting Spirits for sale, hit me up. Next up, the Fall 2023 Collector Chest is starting to show back up in some Walmarts, because why would it not? It's only summer, spring 2025. Now, originally when these released in fall of 2023, in North America they had 3 Cosmos foils in them of Meowscarada, Skeledirge, and Quaquaval, whereas in Europe they had the same 3 cards, but for some reason they had this totally different holo, which I believe we're calling Snowflake Holo at the moment. But now these new copies that are showing up at Walmart now in North America, these have the Snowflake foils. So the Snowflake foils, I think, were starting to become a bit expensive, because I think some people from America were trying to, get master sets or get some weird, interesting European variants, and from what I heard, they were starting to be listed for up to about $50 a piece. So if you were chasing these Snowflake holos, don't go buying them from Europe. Just try and get down to Walmart and see if you can find one of these collector chests. Or just wait it out, and the price should tank once a lot of people get these. And finally, we have had the announcement of Black Bolt and White Flare. These are 2 English sets which are releasing simultaneously. The sets are coming out in Japan as main series sets, I believe, but they're going to be a special set over here, which means they won't be available to buy booster boxes of. They'll only come in special products. Think, 151 Prismatic Evolutions, that kind of thing. The idea behind these sets is that between the 2 sets, they're going to feature every single Pokemon from the Unova region, and I believe only Pokemon from the Unova region. There's going to be no other Pokemon in there. And one of the big things that was announced when these were announced for Japan, I say not out in Japan yet, is that every single Pokemon is going to have either an illustration rare or a special illustration rare, meaning there's going to be a total of 156 of these across the two sets. That's going to change slightly in the English language release because a number of those illustration rares are being pulled from the sets and turned into promos, which we'll get onto in a moment. Now, Japan has done this kind of thing a few times in the past where they've released two sets simultaneously. I remember they did it for Diamond and Pearl when those came out, and between those, I think in Diamond and Pearl, there was a small section of cards that you get in both booster packs, but I don't believe that's going to be the case with these. Cards are either going to be exclusive to Black Bolt or to White Flare. But this is the first time it's been done in English. We've already had the pre-order window for the Pokemon Center ETBs. I did discuss that briefly on Coffee Talks with David. So there are two separate ETBs, but it's one for each set. I know we've had things in the past where a set has had two different ETBs with two different promos, but these are, again, fully different sets. So if you buy the Black Bolt one, you're only going to get Black Bolt packs, and if you buy the White Flare one, you'll only get White Flare packs. They come with completely different set lists in each set. Now, before I go through the list of all the products, these sets are going to be ridiculously big. They just are. So, I believe they said each set is going to have 6 EXs, 6 regular EXs, which is a totally normal amount, and I think 8 Ultra Rares, which are your full arts, so likely that's the 6 EXs, and then a couple of trainers. And each of those EXs and one trainer, I believe they said, one supporter, are going to be getting a special illustration rare, and then almost every other Pokemon in the set is going to get an illustration rare. Like I said, other than the few that are being pulled as promos. But in addition, they're doing Pokeballs and Master Balls again, as reverses. So between the two sets and the few promos that come out, almost every Pokemon from Unova, the only ones that won't have some of these are the EXs, will have a regular version of either common, uncommon, or foil, a reverse holo, a Pokeball holo, or a Pokeball reverse holo, a Master Ball reverse holo, and an illustration rare. And then the EXs will have the regular version, most likely the full art, and then a special illustration rare. So for these two sets, between the two of them, you're looking at somewhere around, I think it's 800 to 850 cards, is what people have worked out. Because there are also trainers in the set, which, like Prismatic Evolutions, are going to have Pokeball reverses, but not Master Ball reverses. But there will be a bunch of trainers, as commons and uncommons, and reverse and Pokeball reverses of those. And also for the Japanese set so far, we've had announced some special black and white rares, which are full art single colour versions of, I think we've at least seen Zekrom, Reshiram, and Victini. Now, I don't know if these are what they're calling the ultra rares for this set, which would be the full art, or if these are then going to be hyper rare level, or if they're going to be gold hyper rares and then these are another level. We don't know yet. It's going to be so big. There's going to be so much. Now, I think I'm going to do another video on these two when a little bit more is revealed, just because I have a lot of opinions on this, and I don't want to bog down this news video too much with those, but rest assured I have a lot more to say about the set, and I will. But for now, let's go through and we'll look at all of the products that have been announced and when they're coming out. So July 18th is when these sets are first going to drop, so 2 months from now, and on the first day of release, there's going to be 4, technically 5 different products coming out. So we first have the ETBs, which is where the 4, technically 5 are coming out, because we have the regular versions and the Pokemon Center versions. So these are, as I said, fully split between the two sets. There's one for Black Bolt and one for White Flare. The Black Bolt one is going to come with the illustration rare of Thunderous, and the White Flare one will come with the illustration rare of Tornadus. There will be 9 packs in the regular ones, and the Pokemon Center will have 11 packs, plus a Pokemon Center version of that illustration rare on top of the regular one. We have a set of mini tins. There's 8 different mini tins coming out. Each of these will have the art card and I think potentially a sticker like they normally do. And they'll feature 2 packs as normal. It'll be 1 pack each of Black Bolt and White Flare. Next we have binder collections. These contain a 360 count side-loading binder, similar to 151 and others. There's 1 for each set coming out as a White Flare one or a Black Bolt one, and each one will come with 5 packs of its respective set. It's hilarious that this set is getting 360 binder collections when you are going to need like 3 or 4 of each just to fit the set in. The final July 18th product is a poster collection. So this is going to feature 2 packs each of the 2 different sets. It's going to feature a big poster. We don't know what that looks like yet. And it's going to feature promos of Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott. Now we can see from the images that these are just regular styles. These are not the illustration rares of these 3 Pokemon. We don't know yet whether they're going to be Cosmos variants or whether they will be potentially the Pokeballs. As we'll see in a moment, something comes with Pokeballs. We will know more about that hopefully a bit closer to release. My guess, though, would be that they'd be Cosmos foil or some other special foil that isn't from the set. Then there are 2 more products releasing on August 1st. The first one is a Victini illustration collection. This collection is going to come with 4 booster packs, 2 of each of the 2 sets, plus the illustration rare of Victini, a jumbo version of the illustration rare of Victini, and a Pokeball reverse of Victini. So this is an interesting one. I don't know if this means that Victini will not be pullable as a Pokeball reverse in the set. We can see on the Victini, it's showing on this image that it has the Pokeball style that was previously used in Japan, you know, for when they did Pokeballs and Master Balls, not the Pokeball Master Ball design that we had over here for Prismatic Evolutions. But that might just be a bit of a pre-release image. We don't know yet. We can also see that there is a Pokeball behind Victini's head on the actual artwork, which you wouldn't get if it was a reverse holo. So some of that might just be to do with the fact that this is a mocked-up image rather than a photo of an actual card. So we will know better, again, closer to the time. It may be that all of the Pokeballs and Master Balls in the sets have this design. It may be that this Victini is an extra promo version, because it does say 2 promo cards, but they've said that a lot before when it's not actually promo cards. So that's a one where we'll have to, again, wait and see a bit closer to the time for a bit more information on that. The other August 1st product we don't actually have images of yet, we just have a description. These are going to be tech sticker collections that come with 3 packs, some stickers to go on, you know, your laptop or something, and then either the Gothitelle or Reuniclus illustration rare. Now these are going to be 1 per set, so it's going to be 3 packs of either Black Bolt or White Flare. And then the final announced product so far is for August 22nd, and that is the booster bundles. Both of the 2 sets are going to have their own booster bundles, where you get 6 packs of whichever of the 2 sets that you want. So we don't have anything announced for after that. My guess, though, is this is going to be in other products going forward. I would guess this is going to be more of a Crown Zenith style thing than a Prismatic Evolution style. I don't think we'll be seeing, you know, super premium collections or anything like that. But I think we'll see a lot more, you know, random box sets with reprinted GXs or some stupid Cosmos foil from a completely different set, you know, that no one wants. And maybe we'll see the set showing up at Sam's Club in 2 years' time. But as I said, I'll try and keep more of those opinions to another exclusive video on these rather than clogging the news video. And so that's it for these 2 weeks. Now we do have some stuff coming up. This weekend is the release of the EV Premium Collection for Prismatic Evolutions, which comes with that really nice deck box and an EV promo. It's also the start of the Destined Rivals pre-release weekends, so I should hopefully have some Destined Rivals actually opened on the channel this weekend, but we'll be getting, you know, pre-release promos, staff promos, and probably some exclusive non-foils, all of which we'll talk about in the next video in 2 weeks' time. Fingers crossed we'll be back with Coffee Talks tomorrow with myself and David, and hopefully some other videos very, very soon. Like I said, some of that Destined Rivals stuff. As always, thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this style of news video. As always, let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you do think I missed any news or there was anything I got slightly wrong, definitely reach out to me either through comments or Instagram or something. Huge thank you to the people who corrected me, especially on that Iris promo. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time.
We would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who chooses to support the DJ Gigabyte channel on Patreon. Join us to help out and get a look behind the scenes.
Thanks for watching. Check out some more videos right here.
And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome Pokemon content from DJ Gigabyte.
Gotta catch 'em all!